So I guess it is time to address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is man, we had some NFL team report card grades come out today. Shout out to those guys, man. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe on the front end. But yeah, shout out to the grades, man. Shout out to the NFLPA and the survey that they do give to the players after the season to just kind of gauge their overall happiness with the organization, the coaching staff, the training room, the traveling, everything like that. All right. So let's talk about this specifically. Let me pull that up. All right. So yeah, man, the overall rankings, Pittsburgh Steelers holding steady at 28th overall. And this is what the overview says. Okay. It says, with head coach Mike Tomlin receiving high praise, players credit him for developing a strong team culture. It is no surprise that Tomlin once again received an A grade as head coach. The team made some positive changes, including introducing game day daycare, which raised their family support grade from an F-, which was last year, to a C-. Shout out to the growth. All right. He says, when asked to identify the top improvement areas, players mention the locker room, which is in serious need of renovation, and the strength staff, touche, which scores low on providing individualized training plans and contributing to the players' success. So in terms of the ratings in the individual categories, first one was treatment of the players' families. And basically with that, man was talking about providing daycare or some type of childcare during the home games. They were rated at a C- based off of the players and how they voted on that. Food and dining, right? Talked about the overall taste of the food, the freshness of the food, and the dining areas. They rated at a B-. All right. And I meant to say also with the treatment of the families, they said for post game as well, man, in terms of where the families should be joining in, they gave them a C-. For nutritionist and dietitian, they got a C+. All right. Talking about for the individual nutrition plans and just how players felt their dietitian was in terms of accessibility as well. All right. So a C+ for that. Locker room of D. Yikes. All right. Now, this was basically them. This is in reference to the players feeling as if they had enough room in the individual lockers. Shout out to my locker mate. I'm going to have to ask my locker mate about that one. All right. And then also the overall size of the locker room, was it adequate enough? So the players voted at a D. All right. Remember this, the players did this. All right. Shout out to the players. Training room. All right. For the training room, they were asked to vote or to complete the survey based on, did they have enough full-time trainers? Did they have enough full-time physical therapists, hot tubs, cold tubs, etc.? And they received a C+ grade for their training room. Their training staff, in terms of if players were receiving enough one-on-one training treatment, along with if they felt confident that their training staff would contribute to their overall success, they received a B. So shout out to the training staff. I salute to the gang in there. Weight room. I live weights. Yeah, I know I lift weights. All right, if you lift weights, you better drop a like button one time for the culture and subscribe, baby. Get your back big for show. But this was the weight room equipment, the quality of it, and if they felt there was enough space to train in the weight room, and they received a C+. Shout out to the C+. Strength coaches, in terms of individual training plans with those guys, and they felt like the coaches would contribute to their overall success. Yeah. They got a C-. Yeah, that was not the best. Woo. Yeah, they said 75% of the players report that they get an individualized training plan, which ranks them 31st out of 32. And then the players feel that their strength coach slightly contributes to their overall success, which would put them 32 out of 32 teams in the league. Team travel. Shout out to team travel, though. All right. Team travel, they got a B+ in reference to how comfortable and how much space they had on the team planes along with their travel schedule. So we do like that. And then the final two, the big boys, man, head coach. Shout out to the head coach. If they believe that their head coach is efficient with their time, if they believe that Coach Tomlin is moderately receptive to the locker room feedback on team needs as well, meaning he can dictate it, but he's also open to feedback and changes and recommendations to get Coach Tomlin an A. Shout out to Coach T. A, he's an A student, man. The only A we got on the list so far. All right. And then last but certainly not least, time for ownership. All right. And for ownership, they say terms of the average rating for the perceived willingness to invest in the facilities, along with their feel that the owner contributes to a positive team culture, along with them feeling as if the owner is committed to building a competitive team. Them boys said a D. Oh my God. No. Oh, sheesh. They shooting, Lord. Oh, Lord, mama. Woo. They done dropped the D on ownership. Lord have mercy. All right, look. I'm gonna just throw it on the front end. All right, it doesn't really affect me, and it doesn't really affect me. But just because I had to say it, and the survey was anonymous, and I'm the cameraman, you see me on camera, Mr. Rooney, I ain't vote. All right, I wouldn't vote that. All right, I don't care what they say. You cool with me? All right, you put a lot of money in my pocket, man. We sit real nice over here. All right, so it ain't me. All right. Shut up. I said, oh, those boys, they were serious. They said, no, I don't think he doing it, baby. I don't think that's the one. He got to go. I said, oh, shout out. But they dropped that day on Coach Tito. I said, oh, all right. Hey, you ain't here, but y'all know what it is, man. I said I had to protect myself, man. All right, let me protect myself. Hey, I falls in line, all right, because I'm alumni. When you alumni, oh yeah, it hit way different. That active player, that player side different. Y'all play by different rules, all right, but you also get bigger bags, all right. That's alumni. I'm over here chilling, baby. I ain't got no smoke with nothing over there, all right. All love. But they hit that man with a D. Not good enough. JV. But salute to Mr. Rudy, though, man. What I will say is this, though. I can understand where they're coming from. If you are talking about the specifics of what the criteria stated as pertaining to ownership, they simply said, are you invested in the facilities? And the gift and the curse of sharing a facility with Pitt is you get to see the Pitt side. And the gift is they're going to tell you from, in-house standpoint that you get the nice check. You love your check. You love those commas. You love how you can go spend and do what you want, right? So enjoy that part. We're not about to decorate this thing. But then you look over at Pitt and you like, hey, bro, y'all look like y'all at the fun park, man. Y'all look like y'all at David Buster's times Kennywood times, like King's Dominion times Six Flags. Like, what y'all got everything in here, man. Like, you look all the crazy bells. I mean, I'm sure y'all have seen how Clemson has done it. Y'all have seen how Bama has done it, and Oregon and all these other places. So you would assume that from an NFL standpoint that there would be the similar stance. But yeah, that's just not the case here. And like I said, man, part of the focus or part of the reasoning when it was communicated to me, at least, was the focus has always been about winning, about football, about championships. We worry less about that off the field stuff because the on field product is what matters the most. But also you getting the check. So as long as you're getting the check, we ain't worried about the bells and whistles. That was how it was communicated. Now you look around the league, we have seen where teams are changing from that mindset. Obviously, Buffalo, I could speak to them because I've been up there most recently, and I've seen what they've done from a facility standpoint in terms of how they remodel it and how it rivals some college facilities. Arizona, speaking out there, a little bit different. And I think that was a little bit more on par with Pittsburgh, but obviously a little bit more modern, right? But everybody's a little bit different. When you're talking Dallas, then yeah, Dallas is going to be like out of this world. LA is going to be out of this world because those are more modern, but that is part of where I could see players having some issues. Now, as it pertains to the other parts of that ownership part, man, in terms of the positive team culture and building a competitive team, well, to me, man, that's subjective. When I was here, we had 7. So it didn't matter who you were bringing in. If 7 is here, you always feel like, yeah, we are ultra competitive. We are ultra locked in, and we don't have any type of division within the organization. Whereas right now, when we're talking about the quarterbacks, just that decision alone, we know was polarizing this year. We know that Coach Tomlin went on record and said that he was almost a lone wolf in that decision. So just with that, there are going to be people that either like that move or don't like that move. And if they feel that, hey, we don't like that move, you're the owner, you can veto this type of move and you didn't do that, well, maybe they look at him and they put that fault on him. Once again, it's subjective, and because it's a survey, it's an anonymous survey. On top of that, we just don't have the info of what exactly the reasoning behind that vote was. But like I said, I could definitely understand where they're coming from as it pertains to some of that. And in terms of building a competitive team, yeah, if you don't feel like, man, we're getting the right free agents as an individual, because fans, I know as fans and media, right, we do this, we get up here, have these shows where we're talking about the different players, who we like, don't like, who we should sign and not sign. As active players, you don't really focus on that all the way, especially like some of the younger guys. But when you get to that second stage of I'm a vet, or I'm a key contributor and I know I'm a part of this, you do start to pay attention to who we're bringing in. And there are some people you be like, hey, bro, why we get that one? You ain't want that one over there? Like, bro, he nice, but he nice, bro. Like, you really want to get that one? So there are some times, and I'm sure if you feel that this, the team is going in a direction that is different from a player perspective than what you might want or anticipate, then yeah, I could see where you could look at him and be like, hey, nah, man, this ain't it. This ain't the one. I don't want that guy. Why'd you get him? He sucks, or he's not good enough to me. So for some of them dudes, man, I can understand that, man. So like I said, man, with that, it's like, yeah, it doesn't look the best. But I don't hate it. I do like the fact that these surveys are happening. I think it is important for these players to have a safe space to voice their grievances and also voice where they feel like things are going well. The locker room part. The locker room part, though. I mean, yeah, things. It's a little dated, they've made little, improvements to it. But yeah, I can understand where if you're a player coming from a different organization and you see some of these other more modern locker rooms, yeah, you're going to look and you're going to say, bro, why is it such a drop off, going from some of these other places to here? And granted, every place is going to be treated differently. Every place is different in terms of how they operate. And that's what makes the world the world, or that makes the world the world. But the locker rooms, yeah, man, they could be modernized. They could for certain be done with an upgrade, at least from my eyes. And that's not even in a negative context, because I was in the same lockers. But that's part of the problem. I was in the same lockers. Catch what I'm saying? And there's some dudes that was before me for a long time that was also part of the same lockers. You catch what I'm saying? Like, tradition is fire, though. I like tradition. I do like tradition, but sometimes it's like evolution is also pretty cool too, man. So I ain't against it, but you catch what I'm saying. All right. So I could for certain understand that. And then when they're just talking about, like I said, man, I was laughing about the strength coaches, mainly because of how the whole Russ situation played out, man. We hear that, you got the new staff. They have the new conditioning test. It got your quarterback pushing the sled. He messed the calf up. He gone for 2 months. You like, yeah, bro. How this work, man? I don't like you, man. You threw off the program. You threw off the plan. I don't know what the whole plan was, but whatever it was, you threw the monkey wrench in it, man, with that sled. So I got an issue with you. So I could definitely understand where they were coming from with that one. Hopefully it's, no ill will towards them dudes, but I'm just saying, man, my man, Rush was supposed to be QB1 from week 1. You know what I mean? And it was a QB pushing the sled. I played with 7 for 4 years. I was up Buffalo with Fitzpatrick, Trent Edwards, EJ Manuel, Jeff Toole, Thad Lewis. Let me think, am I forgetting anybody in there? Austin Toole as well. No. I forgot his name. There's another guy I forgot in there, man. All right, but yeah, man. Yeah, I never saw any of them push the sled. All right, so I can understand where they're coming from. All right, I'm just throwing it out there. All right. And then let me see what else. Let me see what other ratings. Yeah. Food being a B minus. Shout out to the food, man. Shout out to Kev, Chef Kevin, the kitchen man, Chef Rico, man. Y'all be doing y'all thing, all right. And Miss Beverly, y'all be doing y'all thing, all right. Got me eating couscous, chicken sausage, and wedding soup like I ain't supposed to. You dig what I'm saying, man? So shout out to y'all on that. Yeah. I always stand for the eateries down at the building. All right, they do that right for sure. But let me think. Was the last part treatment of families, just from a personal standpoint? Yeah, that is something that they will continue to work on. They need to, man. It is refreshing to hear that they have added some of the daycare stuff and added some improvements to the post-game situation. Just based on, personal experiences around the league and talking to guys that currently play. Yeah, that is still something that they, from my eyes, need to improve upon as well, man. So it is good, though, that we are getting this type of information from those dudes, man, and we will see how Mr. Rooney, because from my eyes, he's been really receptive of these type of things, man, and does try to implement change when it's reasonable to him. But once again, how we going to tell a person how to spend their money? And that's the other part as well. I always be having to remind myself of that whenever I'm like, man, why you just don't do this and do that and do this? And I'm like, yeah, Moats, you the same one. When they be hitting your phone talking about why you don't spend it here, and there, and there, and you be like, hey, bro, when you get your blood, sweat, and tears, you make that bag, then you spend your money that way. I always have to remind myself that as well. All right, so Mr. Rudy, shout out to you. You got the recommendations. You've heard what people have said. You heard what your employees have said anonymously / non-anonymously. All right, so yeah, there you go, baby. But just remember, I got nothing but love for you. I used to be cutting them checks, me, and I be enjoying your check game. All right, so shout out to to us Arthurs. All right, shout out to us Arthurs. Y'all hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. I don't want no problems with nobody today, man.